Hello and welcome to the $3 podcast. My name is Travis, kind of your guide through the adventure of watching the $3 make their way through the business journey and life. I'm sitting down today with my good friend, and I think we're partners, right? Can we say that?
I think we're partners at this point.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's business, but it's also like fatherhood and some friendship with. It's a really good mix.
I agree.
Okay, we're going to say
where we're at.
Yeah, definitely friend Eric Buckley, the co-founder of outwrite.ai, the platform that's been changing how creators like me and other small business owners show up in AI search results. Eric, you've been in B2B marketing for a long time now. Through LeadSpot, and then he saw AI search shift coming before most people even had a name for it. And, we've had Eric on before, but today we're talking about something personal to you and me.
Let's do it.
30 days ago, yours truly, Travis Partington, started using outwrite.ai on Oscar Mike Radio. And the traffic then has been, Eric, in a word, explosive.
Good.
Explosive. And Oscar Mike Radio is a podcast about veterans and military affairs, people who support them, and stories. And it was established, Eric, but I am just gobsmacked, if I can use that word, about what this platform has done in 30 days.
Well, gobsmacked is the kind of review we're looking for, so that's a good word for this.
So question one, catch people up on what outwrite.ai does in plain language, because the results I've seen in 30 days and the kind of numbers that I am experiencing right now need some explaining, because it's not like, going from like 10 to 50. We're talking thousands. We're in the scale, ladies and gentlemen, of thousands on my website in 30 days.
Yes, sir.
Lay it on me.
AEO is answer engine optimization. So essentially it means instead of being found in a Google search, you're being found in a ChatGPT or a Perplexity search. So, it may not be 100% adoption yet, but more and more people are going to ChatGPT over Google every day to find the vendors, to find the services they need. So as a small business, showing up in those AI search results is imperative, and it's getting more and more important every day. That's what Outright does. We get those small businesses found within those AI search results for their category.
You've been watching, the AI search stuff happen in real time through LeadSpot, your other company. When did you know this was going to matter for independent creators, not just enterprise companies or small businesses?
I think, back in 2022, before ChatGPT came out, I think they were around January 2023. So the fall of 2022, we started seeing or hearing from clients, hey, Eric, how do I get found more on ChatGPT? How do I get found more on the new AI search that I'm hearing about? Because a customer told me that they found a piece of our content through a ChatGPT search. So it was kind of organic, more clients coming to us and kind of, not yet demanding, but kind of pushing us towards, hey, start optimizing for this. We'll work with you more, tell us how we can learn. And through that, back in 2022, almost 2023, it started kind of organically, I'd say, from our own content findings.
Most podcasters I know have either ignored or put a diminishing emphasis on SEO for years and, never really adopted it. Why is AEO different? And why does it feel urgent now in a way that SEO never did? Like, I have more people asking about, how did you AEO OMR versus the SEO results for like Spotify or Blueberry?
I think the way SEO works is a little bit different and would talk to how AEO is inherently better for podcasts. And what I mean by that is traditional SEO, you'd have to be a really big podcast with a lot of budget in order to maintain what you would have to maintain consistently, meaning backlinks, meaning making sure your keywords are showing up in the right articles, making sure that your articles are showing up on the right platforms. It was a long process, took months or years, and took a lot of money. With AEO, the typical podcast, usually not tremendously well funded, usually is a small team that's running it. And so with AEO, it allows the small team, it allows those folks without a lot of budget and without traditional organic, Google rank or organic or organic traffic coming from Google to still be found. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to have, a long history with a great brand for years and tons of backlinks anymore. Now, as long as your content answers the actual questions people are asking AI about your specific category, you can get found in those results.
So when I started on the platform, I had no idea how much of my content was invisible to AI tools. I had no idea. And I'm like, are people even actually doing this? What do most creators get wrong then, like I did, about AI and what it requires?
So I think a lot of
AEO, excuse me, and what it requires.
Yeah, I think a lot of founders, we're all kind of dealing with this for the first time. And I think it was easy to assume that if you just kept doing what you're doing, you just start showing up in AI search, just like you may have for Google search. Where founders kind of went wrong is, just depending upon the status quo to get them through. With AEO, it's for everybody. It's for those small founders. And even that small team, as long as you're pumping out enough content, just like you are through Outright, and you're answering the right questions folks are asking about your category, you can't lose.
Yeah. Oscar Mike Radio has been running for nearly 10 years. This next week will be episode 495.
Amazing.
Which is a rarity in podcasting, only 500 episodes. A decade of content that wasn't being found the way it should have been, though, that was a reality I had to face. Like okay, I've got almost a decade of content. Most people would trade heavily for that. What is happening when a platform like mine gets integrated with outwrite.ai and you start working your side of the story?
So I think the first thing is to kind of update the structure of that content, right? So there's a specific set of schema, there's a specific way that your articles should be structured in order for the AI engines to be able to find your articles easily and to be able to pull answers out of it easily as well. So there's an entire kind of process and certainly a number of thought leaders that weigh in and say, structure your H1s like this, structure your FAQs like this. So first and foremost, you have all that great content, let's get it structured correctly.
For someone listening or watching right now who's been creating content like me and wondering why their audience isn't growing the way they expected, what's the one thing you would tell them right now?
I would say focus less on talking about the value of your services and your products and how you differentiate, and focus more on answering the actual questions people are asking AI about your industry. So for SEO, it was important to talk about, your key strengths, how you're different from your competitors. It's still important, of course, but today it's more important to help the consumer answer what they're actually asking.
Well, that just makes sense.
Seems logical, right?
Where is this AEO thing going? Where is Outright going? A year from now, what does content discovery look like for the small business or content creator, or even me, for example?
It's a great question. I think agent to agent is going to be here pretty soon. So, and not only with content creation and distribution, but how you buy services, how you buy products, how you find tech, how you find different software, how you find vendors. I think the human element is going to continue to kind of back out of that everyday, those everyday interactions, and let agents talk to other agents, where they can suggest the ideal content, they can create the ideal content, they can serve the ideal content, all without any human interaction. So I think, unfortunately for many that don't want it to go in that direction, but I think the machines are going to start taking over more and more.
Well, I'm a fan of it already, because I don't have the time to sit there and do all this back end work, do my other things, and then try to, maintain my show schedule. So anything that can help me in the back end, automate it, and then really supercharge what I'm doing is just, and already 30 days, it's been a value add.
And for someone, you're the ideal client, right? You're a small business. You don't have a team. You don't have a ton of resources behind you. You don't have a ton of time. You have an entire other, career you're focused on. it's perfect for you. You can automate everything. Your content, it gets created for you. The platform lets you know what you should be writing about and publishes it all. You can just sit back and wait for the inbound leads to come.
Well, before we go to the outro, I just want to give you like a real life example. I was telling Aiden about this. Memorial Day weekend, I'm on C-SPAN and talking with them about my show and what I do. And yeah, it's turning 10 years old. And I'm listening to my host, Pedro, and I realize he's quoting articles, not so much the podcast, but he's quoting the blog articles, which means C-SPAN saw the blog articles as a way to interact with me and saw them as a value add to what I was doing.
I love it.
I mean, that's not marketing speak or PR work. That's like actual real time on TV. He's quoting the articles, which means the way they evaluate my website is proving that outright works.
You got it. And the way they discovered you, the way that they found, how you're different than other folks that they want to interview. It was all served up to them because you're structuring your content perfectly now.
Just a great way to be integrated with this platform.
It works.
Well, this is Eric Buckley, the co-founder of outwrite.ai, and there's more links in the show notes to LeadSpot and other things he's doing. If you're creating content and looking for a way to move your stuff forward, and you've worked hard at this, I'm proof positive it works. Let Outright and LeadSpot work for you. This is Travis with the LeadSpot, and Outright team. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Trav.